Please come out to machine on location and check service engine soon light. Deal. When your buddy texts you and says he's got a machine with a check engine light on, he needs you to come work on because you work on heavy equipment and he knows you work on machinery, and you find out it's his car. Luckily I can work on anything. Well, today's project, a buddy of mine's got this little car, had an accident on the front of it, and he did some work to it, got it back together. I think he pulled the core support out a little bit, called me and said, I know I've got an airbag light on, I know the airbag's deployed, but could you come over, run your scan tool on it, and just tell me if there are any other airbag codes, or the sensors in the front, the steering wheel, and anything else that you can tell. I'm like, yeah, sure. So today we're going to use Autel Maxis MS908S. I forget which one airbag stuff is on. That's not it. Let's go to diagnosis, control unit, RCM. Alright, we've got a seat track position switch circuit open, crash detected, occupant classification system, front passenger, restraint, front driver, seat track position, crash detected. We've got all kinds of stuff. Pretty normal for just being in an accident. You've got sensors all over the place in this stuff, and specifically like the seat belts are going to have a sensor. They have little squibs in those that'll fire off and tighten up the seat belt whenever you get in a crash. You've got the steering wheel, airbag, you've got the front crash sensors, you've got rear crash sensors, and a couple of others. A lot of these are probably gonna have to be replaced. Usually when one airbag goes off, you replace pretty much all of them. Now I guess the side curtains didn't go off, or it doesn't have side curtains. No side curtains. So all I'm gonna do is take a picture, screenshot of those airbag codes. I'm gonna erase them, key cycle it, turn it back on, and then see which codes we have that are hard faults. Because some of those will you know, obviously the crash detected will go off after a crash, but it's not a hard fault. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete those and go back, erase codes, ignition on, engine off, yes, yes. Okay, we're gonna go back to read codes, see if there's a hard fault, and we still have all the same codes. So I also ran a complete check of all of the control modules in the car. I'm gonna go through each one of these, take a picture of each one, see what the codes are. Unfortunately, that doesn't give me a list of codes. You have to go into each module and read codes. Key on, engine off, retrieve continuous memory codes. Later, buddy. That's something I really like about this Autel scan tool. And a lot of scan tools do the same function, but I just really enjoy this function. You hit quick erase and it'll sit there and go through every single control module that you have and erase the faults, and then you can immediately tell if it's just a ghost code or, you know, a random code or something like that that came up. Also, when you do the auto scan, it gives you a list of all available control modules, and that's pretty neat because when you go through the list, when you just go to manual scan, it gives you a list of all possible control modules. And sometimes, you know, especially on older stuff, you'll hit like transmission control module, or you'll hit a body control module and that vehicle doesn't have one. It's just got an option for one. If you do the auto scan, and then it can Autel can communicate with it. But if you do the auto scan, then it shows you exactly what's available, and everyone you click on it can communicate with. But really neat scan tool. It's wireless. This is a programming module. You've got your J2534 ECU programmer there. I've had this thing for a couple of years and it's worked really, really well. Comes with this huge amount of adapters, and honestly I've not used one single one of them. It's neat to have though. Those are all to do the programming and reflashing ECMs, and I just don't do that very often. Don't have a huge need for it, and a lot of the things I normally work on are diesel. I'm working on this one today because it's a buddy of mine's, and he asked me if I would pull the code, and that's really simple. One way to take care of your friends. It's been a really good friend of mine, and become a really good friend of mine over the years. I will send him a screenshot of all those codes, what I think is going on with it, which ones I think he should replace, which ones I think are wiring. There is a couple things that happen whenever the airbags fire off like that. Generally, both seat belts will fire, and you have to replace the seat belts. The clock spring has the built-in wiring for the steering wheel airbag. You need to replace that fella, because when it sends that voltage off to fire the airbags, You can tell, focus, it burns it. Yeah, it melts it. So that clock spring is right behind there. But that scan tool has worked great. I haven't had any vehicles at all that it doesn't read. There's sometimes I think it's not reading the control module, but it's because the control module doesn't exist on the car. And I've had really good luck with it. If you guys want that one, there'll be a link down in the description. That's an Amazon link and it's an affiliate link. That means I get about 5 to 7% of that sale, and I really appreciate it. It doesn't not mark it up or anything. Doesn't cost you any extra. It's just kind of a finder's fee. And also, when you click that link down there, if you click that link, go over and look at that Autel scan tool, and you buy anything after that, I still get a percentage of that sale of anything that you bought. So if that's not the scan tool for you and you find a different Autel scan tool, you type that into the Amazon search bar, find the one you want, click it, I still get 5 to 7% of that sale. So a lot of you guys have written me, asking me, like, how can you help out the channel? For right now, that's the best way. If you're going to buy anything off Amazon or routinely buy it off Amazon, save one of those affiliate links of mine, click on that link, order whatever you're going to normally order off Amazon. You're spending the same amount of money anyway, doesn't cost you anything, and Amazon foots the bill. So, short and sweet video. Hope you guys liked the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you guys got your own stories about airbags and scan tools and everything, throw them down below. Hopefully one of these companies hopefully one of these companies will send me another scan tool here pretty soon to make some videos with, and I'll get some new scan tool content. But appreciate you guys watching, and get out and fix it.